Friends, no matter where you stand with Jesus today, we can all be lost in life. And Jesus has compassion for all the lost. I believe it was one of his main motivations for bringing the good news. To give direction, to give purpose, to give wisdom to the lost, and equip us with his good instructions so that we can descale our lives and walk in the freedom and the purpose that he is offering us. We need the good news because we are lost without it. About 10 years ago, I was lost, and my pipe was very, very blocked. I had a relationship with Jesus, but he nor his word were not a priority in my life. I was dating someone who didn't follow Jesus, and I was living a life that did not honor God. It was also a time when I had been diagnosed with depression. I did not realize how much limescale I had in my life, and for years it had been creeping in without me even realizing. All the insecurities, the hurt, the unforgiveness, the lies about my worth. And it wasn't until I heard a sermon by a pastor named Robert Ferguson that I realized that I had a blocked pipe. He was talking on a subject about sexual immorality and how it wasn't good for us and how we really needed to be looking towards God's good news and his instructions for our lives. And friends, let me tell you, I was sitting there a few rows down from the front, arms folded, completely blocked off, and in my head I was thinking, I do not like this preacher one bit. And I laugh right now thinking of that because that mindset that I had was really because he was exposing all of the limescale, the sin that I had in my life, the sin that came from filling myself up with all the hard water of this world. And I can laugh now because I actually really love that preacher. Friends, that mindset that I had was because of the fact that he had exposed my limescale, my sin, and I didn't like it. Friends, I did not like that it had been exposed. I didn't like that I had a blocked pipe. And I didn't like that in order to find the freedom that deep down I was so desiring to have, I needed to do something about it. I needed to change. I needed to rearrange my priorities. Friends, I chose to descale. But I'm going to be transparent with you and I'm going to let you know that it was not easy. It was hard. There were growing pains. I needed to look at what was built up on the inside. I needed to seek professional help. I needed to be willing to work on many things, which included unforgiveness, suppressed anger, hurt. The list goes on. I needed to have a hard conversation with my boyfriend at the time instead of remaining ignorant. I needed to make a choice as to whether I was going to live a life that honored God or date someone who did not. I needed to set boundaries in my life, friends, and I needed to release control to God so that he could come and work inside me. This massive descaling, friends, it took time, but I got there and I chose to do it and I found freedom and I found purpose. The good news led me out of my lost situation. I am so immensely grateful for how powerfully God spoke into my lost situation through Robert Ferguson all those years ago. And just like we read in this Bible story in Mark chapter 6, Jesus is willing to put a pause on his agenda to speak into your lost situation. His priority is bringing the good news into your lost situation. Are you willing, like the crowd that gathered around Jesus, to receive it? Are you willing to read the good news? Are you willing to allow it to change your mindsets and your attitudes and your priorities? Maybe you're listening to this and you don't really know who Jesus is. Or maybe you have been in a relationship with Jesus, but you're feeling a little lost in it. Are you willing to go on the journey with someone through foundations and either discover or rediscover who Jesus is and why the good news is good for you? Are you willing to descale those fears, those doubts that are blocking you from all that God wants to do for you and through you?